welcome back to another episode of World of Tanks with Gaming Titan. And I didn't originally intend to continue talking about Update 6, but it looks like there are continual changes being made in the game. And also, as I've been playing over the last fortnight or so since I last made a video, I have been looking at the game and I think there's been a significant change in the meta of the game. I actually think the new update has had a significant buff to the accuracy of guns. Snapshotting seems to me to be a lot more effective, and armor is correspondingly less effective than it used to be. Now, I'm not too sure if the guns have received some kind of penetration boost or an effectiveness boost by some other change in some other characteristic of the game, but it seems to me like that the at the moment the game favours, I think, fast-firing, good penetrating, accurate guns, or less accurate guns. I think are hitting more often than they used to. Although, again, guns with low penetration, like I played the Motherland quite a bit. The Motherland still has problems with penetration, but its armour also seems to be less effective than it used to be previously. Now, there had been, like I said, changes in the player meta that's been going on for about the last year. And of course, there's the reduction of the 5-man platoons to only 3 now, which I think is a positive boost. The experience feed, and again, I still see that's a positive, but I do think that the rolling average is up on top. The distance, damage, shots bounced from armour could also do with the total number of tanks killed. I noticed now that you could, well, as I pointed out before, I think you can now set the location for your default minimap where you wanted to put, but also they've added back in the fact that, as you can see there, when you highlight a tank in the distance, as well as a hit point health bar over the top of the tank, you now get the type of tank. So you now know, for instance, Tiger 1 or Scorpion 2 without having to look at them close up and identify them. That's actually a good thing. You're still not getting the outline, so that sometimes now when you see a tank in bushes or tank in soft cover, you get the red outline on your reticle that'll let you know that you can shoot the tank, that you have a direct line of sight to the tank, but you won't necessarily know the orientation of the tank, so that could be a feature rather than a bug. So under the old system, you could very often, because you could see the full outline of the tank, so you had a fair idea of what the orientation of the tank was relative to you. So you could tell if the tank was sloped, if you could see the lower front plate, where the drive wheels were, and that kind of stuff. And you could use that, or you could exploit that to your advantage, because you could take out the drive wheels and track the tank, or you could penetrate weak spots that you could see at the distance. Now, if the tank is behind soft cover, for instance, it's in bushes, or something like that, where you can't see the outline of the tank, because it no longer highlights an outline, you get the red reticle, so you know you have a line of sight. You can shoot at it, but you don't know whether your shots are going to penetrate or not. Now, you could keep in the module with the penetrating value, but I don't know if that feedback was good enough, because that just tells you that if you hit the armour flat on, you have a penetration chance of varying degrees. But the armour might not necessarily be flat on, so you could be facing a tank at 35 or 45 degree slope, in which case you won't penetrate, especially if the say the penetration was marginal. So the tank, say the armour was 120 millimeters and you had 125 millimeters of penetration. If the armour is at a right angle, you might not, especially with the plus and minus randomization, you might not actually make the penetration if the armour was sloped. They've also added back the tank information here on the kill feed, as you can see there. So you're not relying on knowing the name of the player who was taken out to figure out what kind of tank was taken out. You can actually look, you'll see the thing like the GW Panther has been taken out, or whatever. And that again is useful information, which was available before, which they have restored. So I'm hopeful they might actually restore a lot of other information that I think was fairly critical. Again, I would still be like to see an ongoing count for the non-selected ammunition types, and as I said, a kill count on the list above the accumulators. You know, list up there. I said my rolling damage totals. So I still don't seem to get a well, they're still not showing if your request for fire request is put out. They're not showing the tank type that the request for fire is on, just the player name. Although I think the symbol on the map, maybe I'm just starting to notice them a bit more. They're a bit better. I also personally would prefer if the kill feed was actually on the other side of the screen, along where the minimap is, or at least it followed the minimap actually back and forth, because where the other messages appear, because you're kind of used to looking at messages there, and I think it's more difficult to watch messages on opposite sides of the screen than to be looking at them all in one location. So if they keep tweaking up the information and restoring the functionality that was previously taken away, and restore most of it, then I think I'd be actually happy enough. Obviously there are other issues that I wouldn't be in a position to comment on, because there's stuff like on the whole colorblind mode. I do not know what is or isn't effective on a colorblind mode, so I'm not going to talk about that. I also think that when you're putting on equipment in the garage and buying stuff like premium ammunition or premium consumables, that it could be clearer about whether or not you're spending gold. Now, I did think that I had spent gold, and I must say this is a credit to Wargaming. I was playing during the week, and I suddenly noticed that I was down about 8k gold, and I wasn't sure what happened. Now, I think what happened in hindsight, because I submitted a ticket, I thought it was because I had been using tanks where I hadn't actually completely removed the gold buying options, and I hadn't actually, some of the British tanks in the premiums, I was actually mixing. I was getting premium consumables, some for silver and some for gold, rather than all for silver. So I was actually paying a mixed price still on those tanks, and I was losing some gold that way. But the 8k gold disappeared because I accidentally bought an offer. I got one of the special offers, and I accidentally clicked accept without realizing it, and because I think I'd gotten a few messages at the same time at that particular occasion, and the purchase exception was in the middle. They actually refunded the money without any problems, so that was okay. That's pretty good. Good show on their part. I also noticed they've restored the listings of the team listing by experience, irrespective of whether you're alive or dead, which I think is a massive improvement. It makes it very easier and much clearer as to where you are in the thing. I still think they could do with a click into more studied and deeper breakdown of your interaction with experience and money during a game, so that at least you could see where the money was going and where the experience is coming from in greater detail. However, hopefully that might be added back again, and that's all for now. I think we'll see how this goes in the future, and I will continue to keep you informed of it. Catch you in the next one. Bye for now. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please press like, comment, share. It really helps the channel out, and if you have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.